Hello, big dreamers! We know that the journey back to school is both exciting and filled with its own set of challenges. To help you navigate the school corridors with confidence, we are bringing back a fan favorite episode for you. Dive into our rebroadcast of School Days Positive Ways, Mastering the Friendship Formula, recorded by evakarpman. Whether you're stepping into school for the first time this year or finding your stride again, this episode is packed with gems to ensure you ace not just the test, but also the tests of friendships. This is episode 369 of the Dream Big podcast, and it's time to dream big.
Welcome to the Dream Big Podcast Show. We're inspiring you to shoot for the moon, take aim and go. We bring to you amazing guests who truly love what they do. Every day they're living their dreams, and so can you. Dream big, take action to reach your goals. Are you pumped yet? It's showtime, let's rock and roll.
Big dreamers, I hope you all had an amazing summer and are settling in back at school. One of the best things about being back in school is being around so many of your peers. Over summer, I was fortunate enough to have a handful of playdates with friends, but most of my classmates from last year I did not see over the summer. So getting back to school is the first time in months that I will see many of my friends and familiar faces. And because with each year comes new teachers and entirely new classes, I'll be meeting many people for the first time. It is also during the first month or so that you will likely start to decide which classmates you'll be spending most of your time with at recess and lunch. Now, of course, you can always change that up, but I do know from prior years that these groups tend to get formed in the beginning of the school year, so I wanted to issue you a challenge as you go about deciding who you'll be spending your time with. And the challenge is to choose to be around positive people. Look for the kids who are smiling, who are happy, who are telling jokes, who you can see love life. On the other hand, try not to spend too much time with those who are negative, who hate school, who always complain, who will tell you of all their problems. Now, I'm not going to say you should not feel bad for those kind of people. Even someone who is positive like me has bad days. There are times when I'm feeling sad or down, so I can definitely empathize with classmates that are having a bad day. And if you see a friend who's feeling down, you should go out of your way to check on them, ask how they are doing, see if you can make them feel better. That's what being a friend is all about. When I say a negative person, I'm talking about the kind of people who seems to always be negative, who just loves to complain about every assignment, about every teacher, and about every little thing. I've recently started following Jay Shetty, who creates powerful videos about personal growth. In one of his recent videos entitled, "If You Are Feeling Negative, Watch This," which we will link into our show notes, Jay shares a study from the 1950s conducted by Solomon Asch. In the study, Mr. Asch asked a group of volunteers to guess the length of a black line on a white piece of paper. Each person's guess depended on the people who surrounded them. If the people who surrounded them overestimated the length, then they did the same. If the people around them underestimated the length, they did the same. People literally saw the line differently depending on who they were around. The same goes in life. If you surround yourself with negative people, you will begin to perceive the world in a negative light as well. If, on the other hand, you surround yourself with positive people, then you'll become more positive. Now, I know there are some people in your life you can't get rid of. If you have a negative parent or sibling or grandparent, those are family members, and that's part of life. You won't just be able to avoid all negative people. That's why Jay recommends trying to maintain at least a 1-to-3 ratio. Meaning for every one person who you would consider negative, make sure you are choosing to be around 3 people who are positive. That way, the vast majority of people around you will be positive, which will carry into your life. Right before school started, my parents took me to a family-friendly marketing event called Unlock the Secrets, put on by ClickFunnels, which is a software my parents use in their business. I'll probably do a separate episode on what I learned at that conference, but one of the coolest things about being there was the positive energy in the room. Everyone, both parents and kids, were excited about what they were doing, about the ideas they had, about the businesses they were creating. It was a really amazing feeling to be around so many positive people and really see how powerful that energy can be and how it can make you feel. I'm not expecting the same experience in school, but I hope to replicate it as much as I can by choosing to surround myself with classmates who are positive. And that's my challenge and wish for you as you kick off this new school year. Do you have any friends who can benefit from this back-to-school challenge?
If so, point them to dreambigpodcast.com/369 for this episode's show notes.
If everyone listening would just tell one person about the podcast, that would get our show in front of so many new big dreamers, which I would forever be grateful for. If you are enjoying the podcast, please take a moment to leave us a review on iTunes at dreambigpodcast.com/iTunes. We do read your reviews, and it helps us get in front of more big dreamers, which is my mission. That's all the announcements for today. As always, thank you so much for tuning in to the Dream Big Podcast. This is Evakarpman reminding you that you have unlimited potential. Your dreams are not optional, you need to make them essential. So take massive action to turn those big dreams into reality. Live with passion, the way life was meant to be. I'll see you next episode.